What's happening, y'all? Yet another video replying to comments, talking about things, but the topic here is going to be about USBC again. And that whole topic is still about the $13, the incredible fee that everybody pays for one full year of sanction. I know everybody's gonna be like, well, mine's 25 or mine's 30. You're paying local dues too, and that's the thing most people don't understand. So I want to break this down a little bit and try to get you to understand why awards and the award system for all the accomplishments and everything was the wrong direction for USBC to go, and now they're kind of reaping what they sow by losing membership year after year after year. So we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Stay tuned. So it's no surprise that USBC's lost members for years now, for decades. Now we're down to what, just under or just over, I'm one or the other, 2 million members in the entire country of 300 and probably 45 million now. I think it was 330 million last year. I'm pretty sure it's gone up since then, with a lot of stuff that's going on. But the decline is not because they got rid of awards. As much as people want to say, well, we stopped bowling because we stopped getting 30-cent patches. You didn't stop bowling because you didn't get those 30-cent patches anymore. You stopped bowling because you stopped bowling. You could blame it on whatever it is that you want to blame it on. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. But you just stopped bowling in leagues and stuff, which is the same for a lot of people. And there's only a select few that are actually complaining about the awards, or that are actually putting it on the awards. Now, if you're going to stop a sport and activity just because of 30-cent patch, then I don't know, I guess maybe the sport wasn't for you in the first place. But you want to compare it to other sports and say that bowling was set aside, bowling was different. Yeah, bowling was different, and now bowling's paying for it because of that. Bowling is different in so many aspects, and there's a reason why bowling kept declining while other sports kept increasing. There's a reason why football and baseball and basketball and soccer and golf and all these other sports are increasing participation across the globe, while bowling, as far as league base goes, is decreasing. Now, that's not to say bowling is dying or that there's actually less bowlers. No, just people are choosing to not bowl league. And I think there can be a lot of reasons why people aren't bowling league, but it's not because of a lack of an awards program. Because a lot of people choose not to golf, just not to golf anymore. Maybe it's a financial thing, it's an expense thing. But everybody always complained about, the dues going up, and I got this one person that's been going back and forth with me a little bit on here saying, well, they could have easily raised it to $30 and I'd have been glad to pay $30. People were already complaining about the $13 that they were paying. Already complaining. So you wanted it to go to $30 plus whatever local was going to be, so you want about $50 in dues every year when people are already complaining about $13. That's the problem, is people were already complaining that they weren't getting enough when they were getting way more than what they should have gotten. Like, look at USGA members. What do they get? A rule book. Simple as that. And people are just so mad and so fed up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of what USBC's done over the years either. I'm not a fan at all. But I do understand the importance of having a governing body of some sort. We've got to have something there. And I'm actually fairly excited to see what the PBA can do with the new Bolero League certification system and their new rules organization. What are they going to do? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see what it is. Maybe I'll hate it. Who knows? I have no idea. We're going to find out hopefully soon. But at this moment, we've got competition, which I think competition is good. It makes everybody try to be a little bit better, which will be fine. As far as the awards go and stuff, I think bowlers have just been entitled. Bowlers have been big babies over the years, thinking that they deserve more than what they actually do. These people that are mad, people got mad when they could only get one ring a year, when that rule changed. And then when they said when you could only get one a lifetime, they threw a hissy fit. And we're talking about these little cheap rings that really don't mean anything. And the people that were complaining were the ones that were bowling, 7, 8, 9 perfect games a year. That's ridiculous to me. The ones that, who really should have been complaining about awards being taken away were the ones who never got them in the first place. Those are the ones that probably should have been complaining about it. But, that's a different story for a different time. Now, looking back at comments here, The topic actually got changed a little. It said, I believe USBC dug the hole themselves. They let ball tech evolve, so it made bowling scores easy. I don't disagree with that. I've preached for a while now that I think USBC screwed the pooch when they allowed the bowling balls to get to where they are. And I know ball companies probably aren't going to like that. They like having evolving technology and everything else. And that's great, but I think there should have been a cap. I think there should have been a moment, maybe differential at 30, and that was it. Keep differential below 30. Cover stock hardness at whatever level you decide. I don't think that's a huge issue. A little bit, but not huge. And limiting the types of materials that could have been used, maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying we should have just been urethane and only urethane, because I think reactive revolutionized the game, and we're seeing a lot of cool stuff because of reactive, but I think it should have been cut off at a certain point. But that's a different topic for a different day also. Lanes used to put league bowling ahead of open bowlers. They used to, because there were millions of league bowlers and there were lines and people waiting to be able to bowl in these leagues, and leagues were full. That was completely different. Now that league base has declined, you can't put the league bowlers ahead of the open bowlers for multiple reasons. One, because there's more open bowlers. For two, the open bowlers are willing to pay more to be in the bowling center. For three, the open bowlers don't complain like the league bowlers. So, of course, they're going to get catered to compared to the league bowlers. All the league bowlers do is just complain about the conditions, complain about everything, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're just a bunch of complainers for the most part. I've been there. I've been the complainer. There's a lot of time. I've gone to tournaments recently where I'm like, holy crap, can we at least get the floors clean? Like, I'm wiping off, food and dirt and everything off my shoe every single time. Like, I complain about things too. So I understand why the bowling centers start to cater to the people who don't complain, because they're easier to make happy. They just want to come in, pay their money, which they'll pay 5 times the amount that league bowlers want to pay. They'll pay their games, and then they'll go. Like, how many times do I sit here and I hear people that are just saying, well, I'd be a good bowler too if I could practice for free, or if I... No, I don't practice for free all the time. Anytime I'm not at Waterford Lanes, I pay for bowling. You know how many times I've actually paid for bowling over, the last few months alone? I'll go to my local center, Sterling Lanes, and I'll pay $30 to go practice there. $30 to go practice I think it was 5 games. Don't tell me I don't pay for practice. Sure, a lot of places that I go to recognize me and they don't make me pay, but it's not everywhere. And I never got free bowling when I was younger. I used to spend every dollar that I had, especially during the summer, paying for practice, bowling every day, all day, every day, just to get better. I paid for all my bowling balls. I paid for all my practice. So now we got all these complainers on here saying, well, I don't get free bowling balls and I don't get free practice, so I can't be any good. Stop. Suck it up. Like, go. If you actually gave a damn about the sport, you'd go and do it. Spend your money where you want it to be. If you want to be good at bowling, buy bowling balls. You want to be good at bowling? Go get legitimate lessons. Don't go talking to these ridiculous coaches that actually have no clue. Go find legitimate lessons. Go to clinics to make you better. Don't just sit around complaining that you don't get free bowling balls or you don't get free practice. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I think it's a ridiculous excuse. So, rant over on that. That's where he says, I would gladly pay a national fee of $29 for an awards program and reevaluation of rules to make bowling a better sport, not necessarily easier. Well, they can't do that now. You can't really go backwards, not without really... I think you'd probably destroy the industry if you tried to go backwards that much. It'd be a slow process to get things to go backwards. They shifted to the local level so they don't have to take responsibility. Had nothing to do with responsibility, I don't think. I think it was more about the money. $13 to cover all those awards and stuff on top of all the salaries and the people and all the research and everything that they have to do for certification and all that type of thing. That's not a whole lot of money, especially when the membership keeps going down. So you want to jump it up to $29, which I agree with. I think it should be much more anyway, because it's just a yearly due. It probably should be like $100, so our organizations have enough money. Now people will be like, well, I don't have $100 to bowl. Everybody most people that are bowling in league and are actually sanctioning, they're spending $100 a week on a bunch of garbage. Pretty sure you can afford $100 for a sanction. People will complain. Maybe they won't bowl certified leagues anymore, but whatever. I think quality over quantity would be better. I think USBC, if I was running USBC, I would be upping the dues by a bunch in order to make sure we had enough money to do all the things to make the game better, to make things better the way it needs to be. This $13 crap, it needs to be at least $49 or something stupid, something silly. Because, look at even these leagues that have these sponsor fees, the $400 sponsor fee that goes into the prize fund and everything. Teams don't have a problem coming up with that. They just split that across the teammates most times, or they find a sponsor. Why not do that? I don't think it's that big a deal. And then people like you can say, well, you only pay $13 to the national level. It's smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. They make the rules. They can tell the local levels to reinstate an awards program, and they choose not to. Local levels make their own rules for the most part. The only rules that they make are actually the rules of the game, not the rules of what the local association has to do with their money. A lot of that money goes towards tournaments and local fees and stuff like that. So you're right, they should. If there is going to be an awards program, it definitely should be a local thing. It should be a bowling center thing. It shouldn't have anything to do with the national level. Sorry, it shouldn't. It just shouldn't. That's just not the way it goes. Yeah, bowling lanes used to look at league bowlers as guaranteed money every week. Then, for whatever reason, they opted to cater to open bowling. My only guess is because they can make more money. That's one of the reasons. I've already went over all the other ones. When you look at the average league bowler, they don't care about the rules and regulations that USBC does. They really don't. They don't care, but they still follow them. They go and they have a good time, and yes, some do enjoy the small, little awards that they earned. Not entitled to, but earned. No, they feel like they're entitled to it now. Now, whether that keeps them coming back or not, that's up to them. I can tell you it kept me, my father, and my brothers, and my mother, my kids all coming back in part. Maybe in part, but you kept going back because you actually liked playing the game. You liked playing the sport. It had nothing to do with the awards. So that's just the way I see it. And then the person wants to talk about how, well, they're buying tens of thousands of these patches. They get them for pennies. Well, they're giving out millions and millions of them. So that argument doesn't make any sense. Well, you made my point. You think more millions and millions makes the price goes even lower. That doesn't matter. That's still a lot of money going out. That's still thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just in these little things that $13 is not nearly enough to cover. Sorry, it's not. So you have a problem with the awards program and what USBC does or does not do, then you need to take it up with your local board. You need to get new board members in there that are going to do the right thing. It's just like in government. You don't like your local representatives, then you need to vote them out. You need to get new people in there. Simple as that. So, I don't know. This is my little rant for the day. I think it's ridiculous that people are still on this topic of USBC and awards and all that stuff. But it is what it is. People will complain. People will continue to feel entitled to these things, and it is what it is at this point. So, I don't know. I'm going to let my dog out. I got to get out of here. We'll see you guys later.